A Spiritual Journey. The 22nd of August, 2023. This is my account of a spiritual journey that raised my consciousness above the veil, allowing me to cross the dimensions of our existence. It was a deep and meaningful life-changing experience. I relay it to others, in the hope you gain an insight from it. My frequency assistant of choice was my good friend, the psilocybin magic mushroom, one of nature's gifts. Something I discovered within this journey should have always been a part of our way of living. Later in this account, you will learn why. If your reaction is one of shock, with your thoughts being, "I don't do drugs," then sadly you are under the influence of the control programming, and have been deliberately programmed to avoid something that has no known harmful effects. In fact, quite the opposite. If you care to research it, you will discover many health benefit claims that go virtually unheard, largely due to the fact corporations cannot patent it for their corporate control, as they are natural, nature-given, and therefore not patentable. As for legalities, I have little regard for what enslaves us and what stands outside of our sovereign rights. No one has the right to prevent your access to what's natural and God-given, be it under the false guise of protecting you or not. The system has programmed your mind, and you are blindly following its program, as there is no rational logic behind you feeling negatively toward them, other than what has been programmed into you by the system. For those that believe they are spiritual and experience pineal activation, without nature's help, then I would have to question that in most cases. As if that were true, you should be full of knowledge of what is unseen, and unknown to most others. It would not be just a sense of spirituality, or being more spiritual than the next person. That's actually ego rearing its ugly head. Self-opinion in most cases is no opinion, as it's prone to delusion and adverse programming. Those that believe they're not programmed by the system, or somehow immune, and unaffected by the programming, are unfortunately deluding themselves. If you cannot see that, then your ego is in control. If however you have an open mind, you can learn from this, much as I have. Future write-ups of spiritual journeys, and information will be available at NicksRoom.com. Subscribe for experience notifications. I've named this journey The Stage. The Trap Beneath the Veil. I hope you enjoy it. It was 10 p.m., perhaps a little late to start, but nevertheless it's not often I have no responsibilities and free to embark in peace on a journey that may take several hours. This has been the first time I have been able to record my experience in voice notes along the way, which has been great, as when you fall in frequency you can literally feel your clarity of vision, and knowing disappearing from your mind. So of course it helps to have taken notes as close to the happening, or event as possible. It took around 45 minutes to begin to take effect. I had taken a hot bath to speed things up, as there seemed to be a delay this time in my absorption of the mushroom's frequency. I had got out the bath and was relaxing, when I noticed firstly a moth on the wall. My eyes aren't great without my reading glasses, and when it comes to looking at small things I struggle. I have over the last few years done way too much phone watching and looking at computer screens. It has without a doubt strained my eyesight. But when you begin to rise in frequency, such things vastly improve. My vision was binocular, 200 to 500% or more improved, to what they usually are. Incredibly, from a distance of around 18 inches, I could see every element of this moth's wings, its veins that fed and ran through them. Astonishingly, I could see the fine white hairs that lay upon its wings, a truly stunning detailed sight. I realized I was beginning to feel the mushrooms take effect. I took myself upstairs and to my bedroom, and into the dark just as I had planned. This in itself stimulates the third eye, the pineal, which when under the influence of magic mushrooms comes alive, as the pineal is energized from the high vibrational mushrooms frequency that is passed to us when we consume them. I found myself in what seemed to be a backstage. I stood to the left and in an elevated position looking down. I was up high, where they would perhaps put the lighting in a theater. I was looking down onto the stage from behind the curtain. The stage contained our civilization. A broken and fragmented humanity. I was shown how everything introduced into our environment, from the TV we watch, the food we eat, the music we listen to, right down to the things we do, and the way we live. Absolutely everything was of low frequency to us. In effect, a vibrational trap for humanity. A world of low frequency. It was revealed that humanity was in fact a powerful sleeping giant, but lay shattered into pieces purposefully by those that keep us enslaved, separated and contained. It was revealed that we should be living in symbiosis with all nature's things. In particular the earth we stand on, we should be consuming nature's gateways for our growth. Those that have enslaved us have done so by causing division, separation and fragmentation. In symbiosis we have unity with all, and this is how we attain unity, that is so often spoken of. We need not hold hands to find unity, it is achieved by living in symbiosis with nature. I was shown there would not be the differences between us, that we find in the world if we lived as we were meant. In symbiosis, we all would progress equally and together. I was shown that the shoes we wear on our feet prevent us from touching earth, which has great importance, not only for our health, but to the balance of all humanity, and the frequency to which humanity exists. When in contact with the ground we are empowered, and share that empowerment when grounded. I was shown when we are individual and in a broken state, we wander, and look for a meaning in life. Frequency. We suffer a form of disconnection depression, and indeed the frequency below the veil is very low and unpleasant, yet it's all we know. We are born into it and our lack of knowledge prevents us ever knowing or questioning it, so it has become the normal life for us. Humanity has little knowledge of its broken state, and the giant it truly is when united and in high frequency, our abilities and experiences can then be limitless. Humanity has been conditioned to chase sparkly things, and fancy cars, the finest things the money from our toll can buy. All of which is to fill the void we feel from our disconnection, and most importantly our broken symbiosis. I was shown all of humanity in the traps of low programming, and everything being of low vibration beneath the veil, so we could never rise above it to realize our own self, nor the trap we are in, and if we ever did, due to our broken symbiosis we could not pass on our knowing. I was shown that we should all be in unity through symbiosis. We should all be grounding to be in unity. We should be consuming nature's pathways that have been demonized into our minds. When we do we will experience a gift of soul growth, and after which, when we would then next ground to earth, we would in turn pass benefits of our experience to the rest of humanity. A profound give and take occurs. This is all broken, and that's why we are lost and enslaved. I was then shown the veil, a frequency blanket like a dense cloud, falling down over humanity, locking in humanity with the low vibrational things that surround us. The veil has a great density for trapping frequency. Knowledge you attain when in higher dimension, is removed or diminished from your mind as you pass back through the veil. We have been so lied to and deceived, we are so broken due to our programming. They demonize natural paths so that we remain enslaved, as we cannot reach the levels of frequency required to activate our true spiritual nature and potential, as we are subject and surrounded intentionally by low vibrational everything, which prevents us reaching a frequency that will activate our multidimensional spirituality. Nature's compounds such as psilocybin, magic mushrooms, ayahuasca, dimethyltryptamine known to many as DMT, even the blue lotus flower, said to have been nature's gateway of choice by the Egyptian ruling class, and many, many others, are high-frequency natural gateways or paths. When consumed we are then affected by their frequency, it is passed to us, and in doing so it transfers and raises our own frequency, in line with theirs. When that happens the normally dormant pineal comes alive, when it does it connects us to higher dimensions. Much like a computer we run the programming of that frequency, and what it can access. Lifting you above the veil, you then have the clarity of vision to see all, the ability to consciously leave your body and travel to another plane or place. I vividly recall the come down and coming back. I had to step back inside myself, my lower frequency self. I could feel the enormity of the programming and density, much like my soul was putting on heavy boots. I could feel the binding of this low frequency take away what I was experiencing, together with removing the clarity of understanding that you have, when you are in higher dimensions. Ironically, I was looking forward to my return to enslavement and low frequency. It is of course home and familiar to me. In passing vibrational waves, I was first raised into higher dimensional clarity, then falling back to the normal lower state as I experienced the come down. I was told that making a cup of tea, with sugar just as I like it, would help me return. And as I came to realize, that I was actually eager to return myself to my prison, with each mouthful of sweet tea was the poison that was lowering my frequency to take me there, and back to my familiar normality. In a nutshell, I was shown in great detail during a previous spiritual journey, that I haven't yet documented, as this is my 5th experience. Previous experiences I've had, have been firstly, a connection to nature and the earth consciousness known as Terra. In essence a lower dimensional counterpart to Gaia, and of the same consciousness, a deep, enlightening and lasting first experience. 2. An incredible journey to the halls of Amenti and to the place of the Akashic records where I asked all the big questions, just incredible. 3. Next I astral projected to within the moon and witnessed what resides there. A very powerful, seriously hard-hitting experience. I will document these other journeys when I have time. This one is 5th, but it's fresh, so I tell this one first, because of its relevance to the now, and may help others understand frequency, programming, and just how it all affects us. Hopefully most will now see, that the fear, and voodoo brainwashing we have all been subject to, is actually holding us in enslavement, and for as long as we go along with it we will never be free, find unity, nor break free the giant that is humanity. Final thoughts. For those who pooh-pooh nature's gateways and claim to have experienced such things normally and without nature's help, I believe are largely attention seekers and storytellers. The whole enslavement machine has been engineered for that not to happen. This is not a time for drama, attention-seeking, or made-up stories, so I would hope that the enslaved realize the serious nature of this and keep it real. Nor is it a time to be better than anyone else or superior, nor to invent anything, as the truth is more than anyone could ever imagine, more incredible, more beautiful, and more exciting. We don't need to fake it in any way, shape, or form. If you have somehow against all odds, within an advanced system that prevents it, managed to achieve this, without nature's help, then that is absolutely outstanding, well done. You would have to have many things in good order for this to happen, so that is commendable. Ideally where we might all like to be. Alas, for most that will be impossible, when we are purposefully surrounded by low frequency, consuming it one way or another. But if you also pooh-pooh nature's gateways by labeling them as bad and drugs, then the system has you programmed, so you're not as enlightened as you might like to think. The symbiosis we should be living in would be to consume these things that are nature-given. I don't wish to offend anyone, but it is what it is. If the truth hurts then it's programming, so be it, as we all need to find truth now. It's essential to our recovery and freedom from this trap we are all in. If those consider themselves to be spiritual gurus, but then have no fresh information to share, I would suggest, have a lot further to travel along their spiritual path. It was revealed to me, during a previous experience on nature's gateways, what and why they are. I will speak more of them when I document that journey. The system labels and groups things that are nature's paths and gateways, alongside other known harmful things so as to program our minds regarding them. Just as with most everything else, the system feeds us, it's not true. As part of our enslavement system, those are the fear locks that prevent us finding the way out, by realizing what, and who we are, the knowledge of our enslavement, and when you have the knowledge of truth, you become unsuitable to be enslaved. The full voice note recordings of this journey are available to VIP members. Please visit www.NicksRoom.com for more accounts of spiritual journeys. NicksRoom is always interested in your spiritual travels. Document them, in full detail, and email them to nick@nicksroom.com. If accepted, a video narrated account, much like this one, will be created, so that others may share in your experience. I have to make a disclaimer, by stating, I am in no way suggesting you take magic mushrooms or indeed anything, least of all something that is illegal. You should apply your country's laws according to you, and to where you live, to engage your discernment. Where there's a will, there's a way. Perhaps take a trip to a country where it's permitted for your next holiday. Or perhaps take back your God-given right to nature and stand up to the suppressors if you choose. I cannot advise. Do what feels right, and follow your heart. If you are old, infirm or taking man-made medication, then I would advise you not to take anything. Far better to hear the accounts of others whilst applying your own discernment. Information contained within this presentation is for educational purposes only. Thank you and goodbye.
Legal disclaimer. To avoid unwanted attention, we must make the following disclaimer clear. Views and opinions within this account of a spiritual journey is nothing more than a personal experience relayed into a story and therefore subject to perception. NicksRoom does not necessarily hold the same views or opinions as told within NicksRoom Productions. Everything contained within this production is for amusement and educational purposes only. Therefore, all words and images within this production should be considered nothing more than a thought. A brain fart, if you will. This production is subject to copyright. It is not permitted to alter or use any part of this production, other than basic straightforward sharing to others in this production's entirety. If in doubt, contact permissions@nicksroom.com. Hope you enjoyed and subscribe for more.